it's easier for me to act tough.
And so... everything is all eerily quiet, both at town and at school. There's really not a lot going on, especially today, because this is our first ever totally free day. There are no social links that we need to do in the daytime available right now. At least I'm pretty sure there aren't. Yet, Naoto isn't here, and she would be the only one we could hang out with today, really. And no, club, because I believe exams are too soon for that. So there's a few things that we could do. You could even go to the dungeon if you really wanted. I mean, there's not that much to do in the nighttime, and it's raining for more materials. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fish, because we are going to need to fish a little bit for a later side quest. And it will also be good to trade for some gems to get a certain weapon for Naoto, that I probably already mentioned in her bike skills bio. And so when it's raining, yeah, you can look at all these bugs. We finally get a chance to use them. So we're looking for Genji, Ayu, and Ambasima, which we can get with Tatsuhime Ladybugs. We could also go and fish in the sea for joke weapons. Okay, it's been a long time since I last fished. And I'm kind of used to how it worked in. I've been playing, finally was fishing in Persona 5 Royal recently. Also, now we have Max Diligence, we can fish, I believe, 6 times. It's a bit similar in Royal, but I felt like it's more effective in that one if you mash the button rather than just hold it down. Unfortunately, the Guardian in that game is a complete wimp compared to the Guardians in Inaba and in Shirichi. Wow, that triangle disappeared quickly. Come here, fishy. Inaba trout was actually not the one that I needed. We need some fish to feed to a ghost at a shrine. Again, only in Persona. You say a lot of weird sentences in this series. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get another Guardian. Because we will be needing a Guardian later. There we go. Okay, that was pretty fast. Yeah, with practice, you get better at catching Guardians. So that's 2 of them, and I think that's the limit of our diligence. Gonna have to put those Guardians on ice for a while. Hopefully there's some room in the fridge. Because we won't be using them for quite a while. Okay, we can tutor today, and you know what? I think tonight I'm gonna go ahead and max out the Tower Social Link. The reason why I didn't do it before is simple. I didn't want to steal the thunder, no pun intended, from Kanji's Social Link. I kind of like to keep things at 1 rank 10 per video, unless it was a special exception like with Nanako and with Dojima. Obviously, it made sense to max out both of those in the same video, but here, I've been waiting to do Tower for a little bit. Like I said earlier, the nighttime schedule is quite free in this game. As long as you accomplish everything that you need to do at nighttime, you can really do it in any order. Especially after you've maxed all of your stats. Yeah, pressured so much that you resorted to cheating. Well, yeah, good to know that she still cares about you.
Let's start over, as a family.
This is actually a very interesting point. It happened with, our uncle, with Nanako. They were family in name only until they really made an effort to patch things up. And yeah, Shu was just operating under false assumptions the whole time. He didn't realize that his mother still loved him even if he wasn't always number one academically. Sometimes you need to talk to someone to realize that you might have the wrong idea about what they're thinking of you. I think it's the first time we've seen him smile like that.
About this. I'm going to think about my life and set my own path. Because I just realized that.
Shiva is one of the three principal deities of Hinduism, the other two being Brahma, the creator, and Vishnu, the preserver. Shiva is the destroyer, but in a benevolent way. In fact, his name even means kindness or benevolence. Shiva embodies necessary destruction that leads to new creation, which makes him perfect to represent the ultimate form of the Tower Arcana. He is revered as the supreme being in Shaivism, one of the major traditions of Hinduism. As a sign of his benevolent and self-sacrificing nature, he once swallowed the poison of the primordial snake Vasuki. To prevent it from harming others, his wife Parvati was able to save him from its effects, though it turned his throat blue. Shiva is known as the Nataraja, or Lord of the Dance, and also as the originator of yoga. His design in this series incorporates a lot of elements from his usual depictions, including a third eye which he used to burn the god of love, Kama, with. You'll know that if you played Devil Survivor 2. Matted hair, a tiger skin, serpents, a trident which represents the three principal deities, and an hourglass-shaped hand drum. In-game, Shiva is unique in that not only do you need to max out the Tower Social Link to fuse him, but he is also a secret fusion. These do not appear in the fusion menu unless you have the components to make them on hand, and there is only one way to fuse them. In Shiva's case, you need to fuse Rangda and Barong. This has been the case in every Shin Megami Tensei and Persona game he has appeared in. This doesn't give Shiva a lot of options for skill inheritance, as most of the skills Rangda and Barong learn are skills he already either has or has better versions of at base, but at least you can pass down Repel Physical. Invigorate 2 and Marakukaja are really the only other decent options I can see here. As a persona himself, Shiva has no weaknesses and solid stats that mainly lean towards physical. Even though he learns some decent magical skills and Spellmaster, which is also Shiva's skill card ability, which is amazing. Definitely worth going to Cafe Chagall for, and that's another reason why maxing out Tower is really good. The real thing you want to use Shiva for is his exclusive skill, Pralaya, which literally means destruction, and it's aptly named. Severe doesn't even begin to cover how powerful this attack is. It's the equivalent of Primal Force on all enemies. That is 2,200 power. And if they'd survive that kind of damage, they still have a 50% chance of dying outright, and that isn't affected by light or dark resistance, by the way. Although bosses are naturally immune. This is a signature skill, so it can't be passed down to other personas, but it makes Shiva very popular for New Game Plus playthroughs, since it absolutely wrecks most random shadow encounters. So between that and having the skill card for Spellmaster, Shiva is an amazing ultimate persona to fuse. Also, Shiva is not only a secret fusion himself, he's a component in another secret fusion, which means the Tower Social Link effectively unlocks 2 personas rather than 1. There's always time to learn.
We can play baseball together sometime, though.
Yeah, I guess. In fact, we've got those bats. One of them we got from the Velvet Room. I wonder how that would work in a real game. But yes, this is your last time doing the tutor job. You can't do this again after maxing out Tower. Honestly, I think the Tower Social Link in this game is very underrated. In particular, it actually has a lot of criticism for Japanese school culture that you don't often see in these games, and that I feel is actually quite important. Shu was so focused on being the best academically that he never really did anything else with his life. He never had a chance to do anything outside of studying, and that's really what a lot of Japanese school children go through. And just the whole system that just puts so much emphasis on getting into a good university to get into a good job, it really is that sort of one-track thing. And reputation, and we'll see in Persona 5 just how they deal with reputation as well, and how a single black mark can kind of taint you forever, but yeah, it really is this whole sort of cycle of get into a good kindergarten, because there are even exams for getting into good kindergartens in Japan, then get into a good grade school, then middle school, then high school, then you get into a good university, then get into a good job, and then you're employed for life, and you're basically set, and have to be a salaryman, and that's just how it is for a lot of people over there, so it's just interesting that this game, in a minor optional social link, just has such a big criticism of that. Okay, that's a lot of money. Oh wow, Soma. I like the idea of Soma. Soma fully restores the HP and SP of the entire party. I already have some, and they definitely fall into Elixir Syndrome from, you know, like Final Fantasy, where often people just don't use them because they're so good, but Angel Skirt is nice, but that is incredibly expensive. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Soma, because I do like those. They are useful for longer boss fights, and sometimes you might want to save some for the super boss, but only if you're on a New Game Plus, because items don't actually carry over to New Game Plus. Just remember that. So like before, there really isn't that much to do today. The guide says to read at home, but I had a different idea. We're going to go to Okina City, and we are going to, finally, drink coffee at Cafe Chagall, which is something that they did do in the guide earlier. I also want to check if there's a new prize available in the vending machine. Yep, no more for now. This is, I guess, somewhat true. Yeah. I don't know about zombie movies, like, I'm not particularly into them. They often feel very formulaic, and really the only ones that I enjoy are the ones that are, like, so bad it's good. I don't really like horror in general. Just, the genre I really only, like, I laugh at it a lot of the time, because it often relies on the characters being incredibly stupid. 5,000 yen. Yeah, I'm really annoyed this takes up the entire day. It's just kind of dumb. And the fact that you can't even see what your Persona's skill cards are until you go here at least once. Now, owner in sunglasses, despite his lack of name, is actually pretty important. Yeah, so it's a chain, because, you know, there was another one back in Tatsui Port Island in Persona 3. You might like to talk to a certain guy in Yongen-jaya. An older brother who became a Buddhist monk. So it's implied that this guy's brother is Mutatsu from Persona 3, the tower social link in that game. How fitting that we're doing this just after we max tower. Well, that's a bit of a scary thing to think about coffee. Well, bottoms up, I guess. Okay, so the first time you do this, you always get just a minor skill card. You don't get anything out of your current persona. And yes, this unlocks the skill card display for personas. So every persona has one of their skills that is their skill card. Extracting the skill card won't get rid of the skill from them, don't worry. But you can only extract a skill card from them once. And also, if you've deleted the skill that is their skill card skill, then you can't get any skill cards out of them. But of course, every time you drink coffee at Cafe Chagall, it spends the entire day. So keep that in mind when you're going for skill cards. Some of them are really, really useful though. Skill cards that I particularly recommend are things like Firm Stance, I guess Angelic Grace, Medea Rahan, you also get a trophy for this, Debilitate.
And now the weather. The week ended on a wet note as rain clouds moved into the area. As a result, a thick fog is expected to form in the Inaba region later tonight.
Saying the exact same things as always, but this time, no Nanako to watch TV with us. And so, as always, tonight we're forced to watch the Midnight Channel. And this still, even though we've rescued Nanako, this still gives me a huge sense of dread because, they don't pull their punches. Nanako really does die if you miss this deadline. They don't actually say it outright, like, in the dialogue, but, like, it's Kanji giving you the phone call, and... yeah, they definitely imply that's what happens. But we have averted that. But is there really no reason to watch it anymore? Everyone in town is freaking out over the fog. Things that seem to be the talk of the town show up on the Midnight Channel. What happens if everyone's obsessing over the fog then?
Oh, there he is!
Take a look at this. Namatame's in today's paper.
Okay. So I guess they're gonna drop the angle that Mitsuo was the culprit now.
So it's finally over.
Yeah, seriously. I wish we could have done it sooner.
Well, we saved every victim after the first two. We really did the best we could.
Isn't the fog kind of thick this morning? And it's so chilly.
It rarely gets this cold in November.
Oh, it's you guys. Perfect timing. I just got a call from the hospital. They said that starting today, it's okay to visit Nanako-chan.
So she's getting a little better. Thank goodness.
Oh, is that today's paper? So you already know about him. Two counts of kidnappings and murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. Those are serious crimes. I think it'll go down in history as one of the worst sprees in Japan. He's still mentally unstable, but we're slowly piecing together a story. This is still a secret, but I guess it's okay to tell you guys. You know that diary we found? There were entries about Miss Yamano and Miss Konishi in it. Looks like Namatame had been making advances on Miss Konishi.
That son of a bitch!
Yeah, well, I'm gonna head to the hospital now. Dojima-san's recovering too, so I need to go over a few things about this case with him.
Yosuke.
Sorry, I'm alright. Namatame's been caught. He can't hurt anyone now. But forget him. Let's all go visit Nanako-chan after school.
Of course!
Let's tell the others once we get to school.
I suppose it's time for a celebration. We've done it. And, you know, at school, life goes on as normal. Then I realize that we've just caught a serial killer and saved the town. No, it's all about that exams and academics and studying and... yeah. Yeah, I remember something about, like, I think people, like, there was a comment about window tax in one of the earlier, Blackadder series, and a lot of people were surprised to find out that wasn't a joke, that was a real thing. It was intended to be like a balancing tax for rich people, because bigger houses would have more windows, but I don't think it really affected that much in practice.
Nanako, everyone's here to see you.
Big Bro.
Dojima-san! Ugh, how many times does this make it today? I understand that you're worried about your daughter, but you still need your rest too.
Sorry.
Are your injuries that bad?
Well, my wounds have just closed up, and it seems I have a couple of fractures as well.
Yeah, nothing serious, just a couple of fractured bones. I guess anything to see his daughter.
I'm sorry. I'll wheel him back to his room immediately.
What are you apologizing for?
It's almost time for your checkup, so make sure you're back in your room before then.
Big Bro. Yeah, I'm so glad.
Her condition is stable for now, but,
Let me guess, you have no idea what's affecting her.
I never thought I'd say this as a doctor, but we still can't figure out the cause of Nanako-chan's symptoms.
Thought as much.
That's why we can only administer temporary treatments to alleviate her current pains.
But she's not in danger anymore, is she?
She's regained consciousness, but we can't let our guard down yet. All we can do for now is to monitor her condition closely.
Adachi, how's it going with Namatame?
Well, he's awake now, but he's in no condition to tell us anything useful. We only get a little time each day to interrogate him, so we're stuck until his strength recovers.
I see. I should get back to work as soon as possible. Hopefully by then, Nanako will be out of the hospital.
I think Nanako-chan can get more peace and quiet if she stays here. It's so foggy out, and there's been some weird rumors going around. Seems like no one knows why there's so much fog in town.
It's true. The number of patients complaining about fog-related health problems has increased, which is quite unusual. I can't say for sure that it has no effect on the human body. It certainly could be a psychological effect. People's anxiety over the fog could cause problems. But as far as the fog's chemical makeup, well, that's not my field, so I can only speculate. What concerns me is that transportation of our medical supplies has been delayed due to the fog.
Fog-related health problems. Well, that's just ridiculous. Anyone who says that is just blowing smoke.
Well, it seems like Nanako is suffering from fog-related health problems, but that's, paranormal TV world fog. We'd really need a cognitive science expert to fully treat her, but none of those are around Inaba. Yeah, it seems like even though the case is solved, our problems are only beginning.
Isn't this weather strange? How could it be lasting so long?
I've never seen anything like it.
I wonder what's causing it. It's so creepy. I heard that a friend of mine's son got sick from the fog and collapsed. You know how sensitive children are to that sort of thing.
I heard something too. They say an old man was driving through the fog and got into an accident.
What? Did he lose control?
Well, he'd never been in an accident or even gotten a ticket before, so something seems off. Isn't that scary?
I've even heard there are experts saying it's poisonous. I wonder if that's true.
Do you think it's, because of that global warming thing? This town's changed a lot over the years. I wish the government would step in and do something about this.
Oh, I agree completely. If we're going to pay taxes, I expect the authorities to do their jobs.
This fog is poison! It's a gas filled with viruses! Don't inhale the fog, or you'll die!
He's not the first one like that I've seen lately.
Poisonous gas, though?
Oh, I'm sure it's not true.
Oh.
Is something wrong?
Oh my. I think I'm coming down with something.
You can't be serious. Oh, that's right. I needed to do some grocery shopping. Well then.
Business has been so slow lately.
So everyone's panicking over the fog, but surely things can't be that bad if we go outside, right? Well, that's different. Let's take our minds off of that by reading a book. Guess we can finish off the Man series. Let me just check my progress. So in terms of other books, I have that, The Ocha Way, still a few chapters of those left. Yeah, we've still got quite a few books to go. I wonder if Kanju Tatsumu will ever write a sequel series. Things are still pretty bleak even on the way to school. So the fog is deadly poisonous and also nothing to worry about, according to TV. Guess that guy has a good reason to be dashing through the streets right now. And meanwhile, school continues as normal. What, you mean, I think it's like Onmoraki, that yokai that latches onto your back? But no, that's not exactly a deity, that's just a yokai. You're saying that to the guy with maxed out knowledge. Also, yes, the fourth wall takes 100 points of damage here. Not quite broken, but, close. Very close. Yep, the fog apocalypse continues even at school. Yeah, the atmosphere right now is, kind of disturbing, but let's go around and accept some side quests to take our mind off of things. Well, right now I think she's more worried about dying in the fog because she spends a lot of time around it up there. Animal Guide. For some reason, one of the shadows in the TV wall drops this. You could say that. You could say the Midnight Channel kind of has infomercials. They're probably terrifying. Well, your last reward was kind of a joke. So, yeah, they're basically telling you need to find a magician-type enemy in heaven. I'll go back and talk to Yosuke and Chie in the class, because there's something interesting that goes on at this time, but... Oh, hi. I thought you thought Teddy was into you. Apparently none of them count as princes. We have another quest on the second floor of the practice building. Yet another part of desk refurbishing. This quest has gone on for a very long time. New Year's is like the traditional holiday where families get together and celebrate in Japan. Classy lumber. Let's do this. And here we need to talk to the radio-loving students. Oh, well, we can try and see if it exists in the TV world. Maybe if enough people wish for old ore, it will appear. And there's one more thing to accept, but we have to go into town for that. At the Summergoa floodplain, we need to talk to the old man once. Well, not... I think he's not that old, but he's called Refreshed Old Man here. You have one that lasts forever and doesn't use any fuel source. What more could you want? So we'll be pretty busy the next time we go into the TV world. And with that, we should have accepted everything. Though I want to check around town to see if anyone has anything else to say about the fog. I have Fortuna. Now that we've done all of that, let's speak to Naoto. Actually, wait a minute. Before we do that, I'm sorry, Naoto. Don't worry, we'll get to you soon. If you talk to certain party members at this point... some of them will offer to go and visit Nanako in the hospital. Now, visiting Nanako in the hospital 3 times will give you a trophy called Big Bro is Worried. Most guides don't factor in enough time to do this, but I feel it's for the best if you make a separate save file and then just get all 3 visits out of the way there. Right now, I'll just show you what visiting Nanako in the hospital looks like in an alternate file. This is not what we'll actually be doing today. So visiting Nanako in the hospital gets you social link points with all of your school friends. It's effectively a spend time for the entire party at once. Can be useful if you still haven't maxed their social links by now.
Yo!
You'll still have the option to visit Nanako even on days off of school. This time Dojima and Adachi are here. Okay, we have the trophy now, so I'm gonna go ahead and reload.